Gobby Gaffer. Now, I haven't played too much football since that hammering by Bordeaux 5-2. I'm not bitter about it, honest. However, I have looked at the stats for that game, and it would appear that Kurt Zouma was responsible for at least 4 of their goals. He's not played since, he's not started. He's 37, he's going at the end of the season, so it's no great loss really. I did start him at the beginning of the season as a DM, didn't play particularly well there, moved him into the back 4. Has got an average rating of over 7, so he's played quite well, but at this stage of his career and at this stage of the season, I think it probably caught up with him a little bit. So like I say, he's not started since. He'll probably come on and do a few sub appearances, but between now and the end of the season, you're probably not going to see an awful lot of him. I have brought some new defenders in, so they've been playing instead. So like I say, not played an awful lot of football since you were last with me. Let's have a little look, shall we? So as you can see, in the French Cup semi-final, we played bottom of the league, Toulouse. Beat them 4-1. Cavalan, the new striker, scored 4 goals in this game, one of them a penalty. We then played Lille, scraped to 1-0 in that one. We weren't that great in the game, but we did actually get the 3 points. One of the new central midfielders, the 19-year-old Mbaye, he scored in the 66th minute and got us the winner, 1-0. And then we played Toulouse again, this time in the league. Obviously, like I say, they're bottom of the league. We beat them 3-1. Kalido in that game scored a couple of goals. I give him a little bit of a rest for a couple of games. He was looking a little bit out of shape, but he came back in this one. In fact, I'd given both my wingers a little bit of a rest. They were looking a little bit jaded, but they both came back for this game. And Kalido scored 2 goals and Sek scored the other one. So if we look further down the schedule, obviously we are through to the French Cup final, and we will be playing Rennes, who we have already beaten this season, but are doing very, very well. I think they're in 3rd place at the moment. So when the results were coming through, I think just before we played Toulouse, I noticed that PSG had been beaten by Rennes. PSG generally always win the French Cup, but they've been beaten by Rennes. And the other semi-final, while we were playing Toulouse, the other semi-final was Monaco versus Rennes. And I thought, well, if we get through, we're probably going to play Monaco. But no, Rennes came through. They won that game, and they're actually in the final. So it will still be a tough game, but I do have a little bit of hope now. I think if we'd have played PSG or Monaco in the final, it would have been a cert result. But now we're playing Rennes. Maybe a little bit of silverware. I don't know. Don't want to speak too soon. But anyway, so in today's episode, we're going to be playing Monaco at home. That's going to be a very, very tough game. I did say the PSG game. I didn't show that because nobody likes to see a grown man cry. Well, maybe in this episode, you will get to see that. I don't give us too much hope in that. But then we've got an away game against Reims. Just have a little look at the table now. So with 9 games to play, we're in 6th place. We played 25 games and we're on 40 points. It's all quite tight around there. You know, we've got the likes of Marseille and Auxerre, Montpellier, Bordeaux, who gave us that thrashing. I think, you know, if we're going to get into Europe this season, by the looks of it, it's probably going to be a conference position, which is fine by me. I mean, nothing is, nothing's signed, sealed yet. We could go on a bad run and lose that spot. Hope we don't do. But we have got Monaco to play in today's episode. We need to get something out of it. But as you can see, they're flailing a little bit behind PSG, but who doesn't? But they are on a really good run. At their last 5 games, they've drawn 1 and won 4. So not ideal, really. But we have to play these top teams at least twice a season. This is a chance to maybe get a point there. Who knows? Monaco will be up for it, won't they? Because they'll be wanting to try and catch PSG. They're 9 points behind them at the moment. And this is a perfect game for them to do just that. But anyway, let's get into the game. Let's get stuck in. And I'll see you in the dugout. Okay, the team for today against a really strong Monaco side is Roriel in goal, back 4 of Cabal, Argiolas, Magobain and Menino. I've got Perone playing a slightly different role today. After the Bordeaux game, I tried something a little bit different where I took him off playmaking duties. So now he's just playing as an anchor, and Anderson in front of him is playing the playmaker role. So we've got Vlasic and Anderson just in front of Perron. Calidio and Sek are the two wingers, with Cavalan, the prolific Cavalan, up front. Can he be prolific today? Probably not against Monaco. But usually in the televised games, when I say, oh yeah, this player's been an absolute fire, he ends up on a 5.9. So anyway, let's get into the game, shall we? So we are in front of our home fans. Hopefully we'll see a decent... oh, they've got a player sent off. Now my record, playing against 10 men, has never been that good, to be honest. But Monaco down to 10 men in the first 5 minutes. It's got to be good news for us. So ball into Sek there. Anderson fires the ball just over the top of the bar. So we need to pile on the pressure a little bit now. I'm not going to change anything. We are playing with a balanced mentality today. I've got my wing backs a little bit withdrawn. So we are going to try and keep it tight at the back. But this, if there's ever a good opportunity to beat Monaco, this has got to be it. Calidio into the box, and that has gone into the back of the net, and we are actually winning 1-0. Monaco, down to 10 men, are actually losing 1-0. This is really good stuff. I think, was that Vlasic who got the final touch there? It looked like an own goal to me. Lovely ball there from Cavalan to Calidio. Vlasic. I think it came off the defender's knee, but I think he's going to claim that one. So we are 1-0 ahead. So maybe this balanced approach, keeping the wing backs, quite restrained, is giving us a nice balance in the team. And with 20 minutes in, Monaco have got a highlight now, so they are coming back at us a little bit. Nice little tackle there from Calidio, but unfortunately Monaco still have the ball. Nice pick up there in defence. A long ball there out to Cavalan. Inside, Calidio, Vlasic, Perrone. You've got, there was a ball there onto the right hand side that they missed completely. Monaco not playing particularly well. They're not passing at all. They're looking a little bit out of sorts. Vlasic is in again. Oh! That could have been 2-0 if only he'd have had his shooting boots on. Can't criticise him. He's already scored a goal. Well, via their defender's knee. But we are knocking the ball about really nicely, and Anderson's in. And can't put the ball in the back of the net. I hope this doesn't come back to bite us. That's 2 chances we've had now. You have to take your chances against, well, you have to take your chances against any team, but certainly the top teams. If you don't put the ball in the back of the net, they will definitely punish you. But we're actually well on top in this game now. Well on top. However, never take your eyes off the game, because Monaco now are... No, Anderson's picked the ball up. And he's lost it. FM is a very funny game. Oh, what's going on? No! I was just going to say FM is a very funny game this season. It's difficult to commentate on games half the time, because you think you've nicked a ball, and before you've finished saying, oh, we've just nicked that one, you've given it away again. And then you've picked it up again, but then you've given it away again. It's a very strange game this season. And another chance there that goes sailing over the top. And we're now beginning to squander chances. And I'm getting a little bit worried, if I'm honest. Because you know what's going to happen against quality teams like Monaco. They will end up putting the ball in the back of the net. But, you know, let's keep the faith. Keep the faith. We're 1-0 ahead. Ball's through again. Oh, and the keeper makes a great save. We've been absolutely all over Monaco in this first half. We should have had at least 2 or 3 goals more than we've got. And another header there. Skims the side of the post. We're coming up to half time now. 5 minutes left. Ball's headed out nicely there. Calidio. Cavalan. Back to Calidio. No, Cavalan's going to do it all on his own. He's all over the shop. Cavalan slings the ball in the box. Can we? No, thought he was going to get his header on that one. Menino, Perone, Menino. Poor ball that, and Monaco now have a chance to counter-attack us. Can we win that ball? We have won it. Playing really, really well, you know. This is one of the best performances I've seen for weeks and weeks now. If we'd have put this kind of performance on against Bordeaux, we would never have got absolutely battered 5-2. I'm not bitter. Not bitter. I'll drop it soon. It's fine. I'll stop talking about it soon. Corner coming in from Cavalan. Swinging that ball in. And we don't get a header onto that one. That's going to go back to Cavalan. No, it's not. He was offside. Cavalan, the lovely goal! It came straight back at them. They didn't clear the lines. It came straight back at them. And Cavalan, I think that's 5 goals in 2 games now. This was really nicely worked. Cavalan, lovely shot into that corner. Absolutely beautiful goal. And I'm on cloud 9. We're beating Monaco 2-0. Obviously, it helps they're down to 10 men. But my record against 10 men, believe me, my record against 10 men, because quite a few of the games I've played off camera have been against 10 men. And I had my head in my hands thinking, oh no, not again, because we never beat 10 men. My record is not great. Anyway, let's crack on with this game. Shall we say? No, let's not give them, let's not... happy the way things are going, keep it up, lads. We're not going to say we've blown them away. We have blown them away. But let's try and get this 45 minutes out of the way and hopefully come away with the 3 points. And maybe get a little bit more elevated in the league. And this second half now is, well, it was bobbing on there quite nicely. Because all we want now is the referee to rummage for his whistle, find it and blow the whistle for the last time in this game, and we can come away with the 3 points. Because I do feel like Monaco will score even with 10 men. I mean, they're good enough to do that, aren't they? But we're just playing the ball around nice and confidently. They've left a lot of space over on that left-hand side. Nice ball to Calidio. He's going to pass that ball into Vlasic. Vlasic with a... Yes! Oh my word! Sek puts the ball in the back of the net. All seems to have gone very quiet. Is the referee having a rummage? No, he's not. It's 3-0. It's 3-0. Calidio, lovely ball, little ball there to Vlasic. And a really nice looping crossover to Sek. Just stood at that far post and said, come on, just put the ball on my head and I'll do the rest. 3-0 against Monaco. What's happened to the world? Well, I'll tell you what's happened to the world. RC Lens are turning the world on its head. It's very nice to see, though, isn't it? After that last game that you saw on camera against Bordeaux was absolutely awful. This is brilliant. And I've actually forgotten to make any substitutes. Smack on the hand for Gobby Gaffer. No substitutes. That's quite poor. But we are going into now. We're going into an international break. I have wedged a little friendly in there between this game and the Reims game. We have got a whole week off now for internationals. So the players can go away now, do their international jollies, and then they'll come back nice and fresh, won't they? So I don't need to make the subs. We won 3-0. Okay, what we're going to say. I'm going to say now, that was as comprehensive as it gets. You've blown them away. I don't think I'll be saying that too many times against teams like Monaco and PSG. And you know what? I'm not crying. Brilliant. And just having a little look at the league there now, although there are 1 or 2 teams who have not played yet. But we are, with that result, we're 5th, 26 played, 43 points. So getting one of those European spots this season would be absolutely magnificent. You know, it's just, we need to get into Europe. That's the top and bottom of it. We need to get into Europe. Winning the league is going to be a whole other ball game, because whilst you've got PSG and Monaco around, it's going to be a tough ask. But we do need to try and get this bank balance sorted. With 40 odd million in the red in the bank now. So we do need some money coming in, and that is definitely could be provided by being in Europe. Okay, so we've got a week or two now before the next league game. So I'm going to go off camera now. I've wedged a little friendly in there just to keep the lads who are not going away on international duty, just to keep them nice and fresh. You know, let's just keep playing this tactic. Let's learn the tactic. Let's learn got a few new positions as well. Look, with Perron, Anker, Anderson playing that advanced playmaker. But it seems to be working at the moment. But you certainly can't have too much training when you brought new little systems in. So we're going to do that, and I'll be straight back, and we'll be watching the Reims game. We'll see you very shortly. Well, welcome back. Nice little international break there. We did play a friendly game. We won 2-1. Not the biggest of wins, but a lot of our players, to be fair, are now internationals and away on international duty. And talking about that, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our new French international. Yes, it's Jean-Marc Cavalan, our new superstar striker. He played for the under-21s. He played for them 10 times, scored 12 goals. But he's just got his first full international cap. And didn't score a goal, but played really well. So, well done to the lad. Well done to the lad. More good news. Our centre-back, the young lad, 19-year-old Magobain, he's actually on the next-gen list. It's just been released. And I think he comes in at about number 45 on the next-gen list. So a really good signing, that one. I knew he'd be a good signing. We're actually scouting the next-gen list. Hopefully there'll be some good players that'll come off that at not too much money. And while we're talking about the next-gen list, guess who I've just been offered? One of my scouts. Stanolovich, SC Cambuur. Yep, he's coming through about 23 to 28 million. So not too steep for a wonder kid. And like I say, he's been recommended by my scouts. So SC Cambuur, they're third in the Eredivisie at the moment. So I think I've left them quite a nice legacy there. Fylde, on the other hand, are dropping down the championship now. They're kind of getting near the relegation area, which is a little bit sad. But it is quite a while since I left them, and if they've not had the right management in place and they've not signed the right players, then maybe it's to be expected. But it's nice to see Stanolovich being offered around and SC Cambuur doing quite well. Anyway, let's talk about the previous clubs and let more talk about RC Lens, which is where I'm at now. We're going into a game. We're playing Reims. I'll see you in the dugout. Well, welcome to the Stade Auguste Delorme. My French is coming on amazingly. I'm sure you're all impressed. The team for today. So we've got Roriel in goal, back four of Cabal, Gattini, Argiolas and Pembele, Perrone, Vlasic and Anderson in the midfield, Calidio, Sec on the wings, with Carvalho gets a start today. Give him a new French international a little bit of a rest today. He's been on his travels, he's a little bit weary. So Carvalho, very, very good replacement. Let's see what we can do today against Reims. So we're still playing with a balanced mentality, still a little bit cautious. We're 20 minutes into this game though, there's not an awful lot happening. Each team's only had one shot up to now. We're getting on for half an hour into the game. Not an awful lot happening. We've had 2 shots, 2 on target. XG is very, very poor. We're slightly shading possession. Looks like we're maybe going to go through. Oh no, we're getting a highlight. Just before half time, we're getting the highlight. So we're playing in our green strip today. I mean, that is very, very poor defending. Left a player there all on his own, but fortunately Roriel, who is, I think he's still finding his feet, Roriel. I'm still convinced that he will be a top keeper. I think he needs to learn the language. Once he has done, I think we've got a top keeper on our hands. But we get our first highlight of the game. Argiolas to Gattini, Perrone, Vlasic. We're just knocking the ball around here at the back. Can we find a ball forward? Anderson is now our playmaker. He plays the ball to Vlasic. Calidio, Vlasic in the back of the net. And there we go. So that was a really nicely worked goal. A little bit Manchester City style, if I'm honest. Play the ball around the back, draw the defence out, and then all of a sudden, quick burst into the penalty area, bump, back of the net. And having looked like we weren't going to score at all, we're actually going into half-time now, 1-0 up. Very, very nice. So I'm delighted with your performance so far. Keep it up. Nice pat on the back for the lads. Sending them out for the second half. I have to say that it's a little bit unusual for me to show 2 games on camera and win them both. I mean, can we do that today? Can we get 2 wins? It would be very nice. I mean, we're actually looking up now towards a Europa League spot, which would be absolutely brilliant. But less of the waffling. Let's make some subs. 3 subs. Brought Mbaye on in midfield. He's the young lad. I mean, if we just have a look at his stats, he can play that advanced playmaker really well. Passing of 17, technique of 16, vision of 14. So he can play that position really well, and I think that will be his position once he gets a little bit older and gets into the team, you know, a little bit more. Replace both my wingers as well, Charon and Menino, who is a little bit of an all-rounder. He can play on that wing as well, so he can play deep line playmaker, defensive midfielder, right full-back, right wing. He's one of those valuable players. So yeah, both wingers changed, and Mbaye's come on in midfield. And we come back to a corner. Vlasic flicks the ball in there, and we do get a head onto it, but it goes behind. 75 minutes coming up. Gattini, ball to Perone, Mbaye to Menino. Argiolus at the back, so we're just doing our usual, playing the ball around at the back, trying to draw them out of position. But we have actually, that's always the danger when you start doing that. If you give the ball away, then the chances are it's going to be dangerous. You know, you're pushing forward, nicking that ball around, and it gets taken away from you. You potentially, you know, you're going to be vulnerable at the back. And that's a header from the corner. So that lost ball there has led directly, more or less directly, to a goal. And Reims are right back in it again with about 20 minutes left on the clock. A couple more changes. We've gone to a positive mentality now. Obviously, we need to nick a winner now. It's not ideal, this. But Cavalan has come on up front, and Saulo, the Brazilian lad, has come on in midfield. So we're going to drop them a little bit of encouragement. We're going to maybe go attacking as well now with a few minutes left on the clock. Their keeper is going to hoof that ball upfield. Hopefully we're going to pick that ball up and send it straight back at them. Can we nick a winner? That ball is played beautifully to Cavalan, who fires over into Rosehead, and that is very, very poor. And it looks like we are going to drop points here. Yeah, so my prediction of not getting 2 wins in an episode, unfortunately, comes true. And we have a win and a draw. But, you know, let's face it, a win against Monaco and a draw away at Reims, although I am quite disappointed with that draw. They're second from bottom. We should be beating teams like that. Little bit poor. I'm going to say we should have won the match, you know, on chances. So they're getting a little bit of a flea in their ear for that. But so if we have a look at the league now then. So 27 games played. Everybody's played 27 games. We're now in 5th place with 44 points. If you look at where Reims are as well, obviously at this stage of the season, it's always difficult playing those teams who are in and around the relegation area because they're fighting for their lives. So a point for Reims, as you can see, very, very important for them. So you can't discount that. You know, you can never go into a game saying, particularly this time of the season, you can never go into a game saying, yes, this is it. We've got the 3 points here, because those teams down there are fighting for their lives. So not a bad little episode. Beating Monaco, never to be underestimated that. If you've enjoyed it today, please give me a like. If you're new around here, please subscribe. Try and spread the word if you can. The channel is growing, albeit quite slowly. It's a little bit slower than I would like, but it is growing. So anyway, if you like your Football Manager played the Gobby Gaffer way, then please come back and support the channel a little bit more, because as per usual, the next episode is just around the corner. And don't forget, there's a Europa League place at stake, and we're in the French Cup final. 82,000 will be there for that day. Will you be there as well? I certainly will. Well, I'm the manager. I'll be in the dugout. I'll be shouting the lads on. Come along and shout the lads on in the French Cup final. We'll see you very shortly.